Who doesn't want a nice background? You don't want to show people bad stuff on the farm, you know. You want to only show them the stuff that's looking good. Hey, let's look at my maize. It's doing good. I can't wait to eat this. Hi guys, welcome to KATAALA Farm. My name is John Kavuma and I'm excited to have you guys here. This is a very first video on KATAALA Farm, but this is not the very first video about the farm. I had videos on my other channel, John Kavuma, but then I'll be pulling those videos down and what's wrong with you guys? And posting those videos here one by one. So I want that other channel to be for some other content, and all my farming content will be on this channel here. Now in my background you can see my maize, isn't it? Who doesn't want a nice background? You don't want to show people bad stuff on the farm, you know. You want to only show them the stuff that's looking good. Hey, let's look at my maize. It's doing good. I can't wait to eat this. On this channel I'll be showing you the different things that I'm doing, how I'm raising my chickens on pasture. There's a tractor here with chickens. We have a few chickens on pasture this season because of the cold. So we noticed in July we won't be having any chickens on the farm. Well, like pastured chickens. We'll bring chicks maybe in the last week of July, but we won't be having any chickens because the cold here is intense. The cold gets to well below 10, not well below, but a little below 10 degrees. And for Africa that's not very conducive for our well-being. It's very cold. That's very cold for us. So I've noticed that affects the chickens as well, and we've been having problems with chickens that we've not had before, and we figure that's because of the cold. So we can't keep putting a heat source in here. We want the chickens on pasture. So in July we just won't be having meat chickens. We'll only be having layer chickens for eggs, because we can always go get those in somewhere in there in a warm place and then take them out later on back onto pasture. So that's what we'll be doing. We have another tractor here. That's an empty tractor. We have corn there. We had weeds over there that we slashed and we're leaving them there. And what we're doing is we're looking for cow manure so that we can pour it in, so that we're literally composting on the field. Now why are we doing that? I don't have my own cows, so I have another patch of weeds that's been growing here, and so I talked to some of my neighbors that have cows, many cows and many goats, and asked them if they could bring their cows and goats here to graze this place, so that, you know, we have the manure going down, and then we would kind of cut down the shrubs that are left. But there were so many reasons they gave as to why they can't bring their cows here. So I guess I'll have to buy my own cows and goats and sheep, because, you know, if you want something, trust me, you'll make it happen. But if you ask someone for help, and trust me, they would want to help, but they at some point they could find why things won't work out, and I don't blame them. Another thing I'll be doing is visiting other farms that practice things I agree with, and also farms that practice things that I don't agree with, because there's a lot to learn from them. So that's why I'm going to visit farms that do things that I don't agree with. Now I'll start with visiting farms in Kenya, and then we'll also go out and visit farms in different countries: Uganda, Tanzania, South Africa. Man, I'm excited about South Africa. Nigeria, Ghana. There's so many farmers that I'm seeing, and I want to visit their farms because there's so much to learn. There's so many questions to ask, especially in the perspective of how I'm doing things and how those guys can help me and how I can learn from them. Speaking of backgrounds, I would have used my neighbor's farm as a background. Look at this beautiful farm, man. I'm not going to covet this guy's land. Many people may have a question, and the question could be is, why am I doing this? Why am I showing off my farm? So why I'm doing this is, there's so many farmers that are posting about how they farm and why they do it. And I believe the reason they share is because we want to encourage other farmers. Now, my reason is I want to encourage young people my age. And I'm sure there's so many young farmers now that are posting about how they're farming and how they're being creative on their farms. so many people my age aren't farming, and I want to encourage young people my age to start farming, to get into this business of growing food, but not just growing any type of food, growing healthy food. Now, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? I'm doing this because I want to challenge the status quo. There's ways we've been taught to farm, and I started growing things that way some time back, but I've been questioning many things. I asked myself, why? How about if I do it this way? And the more I read, the more questions I have. If I do this way, will it work? If I do it this way, will it work? And many ways I've been told not to do things have worked even better than ways I've been told to do things. So I believe we should question things. We should question things. The other thing I believe is in thinking different. When farmers think different, they're more creative. When we are more creative, we find more innovative ways to improve farming, more innovative ways to improve how food is grown. If we ask questions, we're going to ask, how can I grow more nutritious food? Not just calorie-giving food. How can I grow healthy food? Food that's free of chemicals, because chemicals actually get into the food. You know, most people think if I spray the leaves, it's going to stay there. It actually gets into the food that we eat. So those are the questions I've been asking myself, and I believe food can be grown organically on a large scale. And so I want to challenge the status quo that you can't grow food organically on a large scale. And I want to start with my small farm and move to a bigger farm. My dream, and hopefully one day, is that me or some other farmer, young farmers my age, will be growing maize and wheat and corn and peas and all this stuff on thousands of acres organically and regeneratively, while improving soils as well. So that's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm doing this. The other reason I'm doing it is to make money for my family. Thank you for watching this video, guys, and I hope to see you in another video very soon.